Yo, it's Stop Comics to Me time. Uh, Together apart. I'm in Chicago. My significant other is at another podcast recording because he sucks. He
Yeah, I
could
was gonna say
be,
that's rude. We have one recording right now and he's not
uh,
even here.
I would say he could have a live recording right in his face. Whatever. I'm
And it
Pam
would be
Hammerstein.
free.
It would be free. We also
It
wouldn't
would
have had
be
to drive, and we wouldn't have had to drive to Chicago for it.
you drive all the way to Chicago just to catch a live stream of us recording our podcast.
Why not?
I'm Heather.
We're
Oh
here
goodness.
we're here to talk about comic books. I am pretty sure I'll probably glitch out at some point, so just deal with it. Fine.
Champ's playing with the hotspot, so
I am playing with the hotspot because it is apparently like more safe than the Wi-Fi here because that's what I was on before.
just wild.
Yeah,
Maybe
it does
the Wi-Fi just didn't like the conversation we were having.
seem possible.
You just started yelling and
It's like, oh shit, or
we're done.
whoever's upstairs is like, I gotta cut the Wi-Fi off. It sounds like they're going ham down there.
They're getting too upset.
It's just a one-sided conversation too. Can't even hear anyone else.
Oh yeah, because you have your headphones. Oh,
All
that's
right.
funny.
You want to talk about comic books
Yeah, I'm gonna start. I have
in the
this
back?
book. This is called Vanity. This is this is issue number two. This is by Jerry Kirnev and Natalia Sarevnik Sarevnikova. Don't know how to pronounce that. It's a Black Caravan book. It's just a little story about Elizabeth Bathory, who you may know as the Hungarian royal woman who liked to bathe in the blood of virgins. So this issue is a little bit more about how she became that person, with like her first marriage and the birth of children and all that kind of stuff. But it kind of ends with her meeting the person responsible for getting the idea in her head of eternal life. So it's
Interesting.
good.
So have you been liking it? Like, do you like the second? I guess it's only two issues in, and that first issue was a while ago. Like,
Yeah, I actually do. I like the way that the story is told, because with a lot of these types of stories, it's usually like, hey, this person is born, and then all of a sudden it's like this is her reign. But it gives you just a little bit of like important moments in her life that kind of shaped who she ended up being
hmm
without like doing too much. So I thought that was really cool. The art's kind of strange. It's not normally my cup of tea, but it's also very good for the
okay,
story, I think. Like it's just very, like the colors are kind of dull, especially when you think like this is in what 1400s. So it just makes sense. I always say that, like, I think art from that time period should reflect how dirty of a time it was, like how gross and dark and all that
yeah.
kind of stuff. And so I do think that the art really does reflect that. I like it. It's been good.
And you're familiar with this particular person? Like, do you think it's a fairly like close story?
Yes, my dog is named after her. Yeah, I think from what I have read, it's pretty accurate, spot on. But again, her, I guess, life and biography and stuff isn't like very well known. So what is considered accurate may not even be
Let's
what
say just
happened.
stories.
Yes, exactly. So from every story that I've read, this is similar.
All right, all right.
Good job. You talk. I have to open this door and let my screaming cat in.
Okay, so on the opposite side of cats, I actually have a girl and her dog. This is a little one shot by It's Alive comic. Um, it is written by Sorry. They put everything in a weird spot. John Holland, and the art is by Gonzalez, and the letters are by Nicolas Lepta. Um, just a story about literally a girl and her dog. Um, it's true, but it starts out with her receiving this dog as a birthday present when she's 16. But when you're 16, you don't want a dog. Like you want more. And just kind of just like, fuck the dog. I don't care about the dog. And her parents like take care of the dog, and finally she like goes through that kind of first big teenage breakup and really ends up connecting with the dog because the dog is the person that's like there for her during that. Um ugh, ugh, story's rough. Uh and then that's the intro, and each little snippet of like there's little snippets of this book where they're important aspect of her life or those important moments of her life, getting a promotion, finding the man she's going to marry, her like having a child, her dog Max is their name, and like they show like the dog shows up during all of these like life events for her, even though the dog had passed away like many years ago. So you like get that connection that you have with dogs, and then after you have like those little snippets, it actually goes back in time to when um she has to put her dog down at the vet. And it's
Sorry, you froze again while you were doing that.
good times. Uh it froze again. It and that part was really rough. I mean, the book as a whole is something, I don't know. If you have a dog and you love dogs or any animals for that matter, you know how important they are to your life, and each of those like fleeting moments that you have that you can't necessarily share with another person, you share with like your best friend who happens to be that animal, or you're just so down you can't be around another human, like you just share those moments with your animal. And I think like there's something about this book that like captured those like moments really well, or like losing an animal and having to go through these like major life events without that animal, and kind of like imagining if they were there and like you had that support. I don't know, it was really great. I really loved it. Hit me right in the feels.
Yeah, I knew I wouldn't be able to handle it.
It was really good. But yeah, it took a lot. Like it was the first book I read on Tuesday night, and I don't know how I didn't cry. Like I said to you like earlier this week, I think it was just like it was one of those things where I was like, and just like deep breath out, because it's, if anything, it would be like a cathartic cry. Like it would be
Yeah.
like, this is gonna be me when Megatron dies. Like it's, and like it's just animals and pets, and like they're just something that are like you're so connected to them. Like you don't want to go through life without them, but they're not going to be there forever, and that's
Right.
one of those things. And I think this book does a great job of like talking about that. I'm going to go on. I read the second issue of New Champion of Shazam. I love this book. It's a lot of fun. It's super wholesome. Mary is great. This issue just kind of sets the tone, or sets the story of like what she's looking for. Um, and plus Doc Shainer's art. Doc
Yeah.
Shainer's art is so fucking insane. Um, I know it's like a really good combo of like Shainer's art on top of the story itself, but there's like something about this that just like really love. Like I've never read any Shazam before. Like I don't really have any connection. I don't have any connection with like any of these characters. Like I don't know them, but I want Mary to succeed. I like this issue, you kind of meet all of her siblings that are like foster siblings, because in the last issue her foster parents were kidnapped. and she finds out that she is the only one who gets to keep the power of Shazam, but all of her siblings don't, because they are also at one point were Shazams. I don't know what to call it.
Okay. Okay.
Um, or had they all had the power of Shazam, and now she's the only one. So it deals with like she has to come back because she's the adult and she's the only one who can take care of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like this weirdness between them all because their parents are missing. She's Shazam now only, and it's a really I don't know. Like I said, there's something about it I really like, and I can't like put my finger on it. Like Davis said before, like it's just really wholesome, and I don't mean wholesome in a way where it's like I don't know. I feel like sometimes people use the word wholesome and they mean it in a like kind of derogatory way or just like a way where it's like, meh, other people
Right.
don't like it, but it's really, really good. So good.
Okay. Perfect. How many issues is it going to be?
Four.
Four.
It's only four issues. I think that's
That's
like
such a
it's such a weird amount. It's so small. I want more. Like
yeah.
I already am like I know I'm gonna want more of this, and I hope that they do more. Like I really hope that this book does numbers because I do love it, and I think it's worth like something to have in a long run, like just the way it's working out.
Yeah. All right. Very good.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we got Dark Knights of Steel. This is what Tales from the Three Kingdoms. This is a one shot.
Yep. It's a one shot.
So
There's
it's
three different stories in here from the universe of the of Dark Knights of Steel, pretty
what was
much.
your favorite one?
Um, you know, I think the last one, honestly.
Okay.
I did really, really like the first one as well. And the second one was all right, but yeah, there was something I didn't like it as much as the other two. Like the first one, I absolutely loved the art for. I thought it was just fantastic. But
Casper
the I
Wingard.
know, so good. And then the last one, I didn't actually realize C.S. Pacat. I'm not sure how to pronounce their name. I actually really like them as a writer. I've read a lot of their like novels, and
Okay,
so
cool.
yeah, I was very excited about that when I got to the last page, and I was like, oh, that's why I liked it. So that was really cool. Plus, the art in that one is great as well.
It was very like Dan Mora-esque
Mm-hmm.
in its own like way. I
Oh
also
yeah,
like
no,
I liked how
it's so good.
soft the colors were.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I would say the first one was probably my favorite, just
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a after that stupid Superman Pals Jimmy Olsen book by Matt Fraction, I'm a Jimmy Olsen stan.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew that's why you were gonna love it.
Yeah, I just like I love Jimmy Olsen so much, and I really like what I liked what they did with that story. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I I did really like this like little one shot because like I don't know, I like how serious and like different the Dark Knights of Steel book is, but I really like like this aspect of it and seeing them as a kid and kids and like seeing how they kind of like feel about the kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah, I really liked that part of it too, because I mean, Dark Knights of Steel is probably one of my favorite stories that's out. It's just so good. And so you obviously get their what happens in their world and like how they ended up where they were. But yeah, to see like these specific stories, like these instances of like how they actually met each other and like how these things happened before was really cool.
Yeah. No, it was I was really glad I got it. I mean, I would have gotten it anyway, but I'm really glad I got it because it's just it's not like you need it for like the series, but
No, not at all.
it's like a nice little balance. Like, you know, if there's something like so serious about the main series and it's like, all right, I could take a little fun.
Yeah, I did like how, there were three writers for these stories, but like they all did the characters justice.
The voice felt like very much the same.
Yeah, yeah, like even like you said you didn't read the second one, and there were several Robins in that story, but I feel like they did them all justice. Like they felt like the characters that we know like later on in the series. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the next?
Yes.
I do want to say though to all of our listeners who always listen to us, if you're not reading Dark Knights of Steel by now, please, please consider picking it up. It's probably one of the best DC books on the shelf. It's like a really interesting idea, and I don't think you would really think it is without like picking it up and reading it. What's going on over there?
I just put the connection here. The second book or the second story in the book is written by Jay Kristoff, who, if I am figuring this out correctly in my mind, he is the person who wrote the series, the Nevernight trilogy. Kristoff, problematic.
Oh no.
Um, yeah, okay. This is exactly who I was thinking of.
I'm not froze. I'm just like frozen in real life. I mean, I guess
Oh my
I'm glad
goodness.
I skipped it.
Yeah, okay. So I'll send you links and stuff because I don't want to like go through all of it. But the first thing that I see on Reddit is Jay Kristoff is a problematic and obnoxious jackass as usual, and now anti-Semitic. So I don't know. I on TikTok I follow the hashtag book talk, but I also follow problematic authors so that I know to avoid certain books when I'm trying to find something new to read.
Or at least be aware. I
Yeah,
think I don't I I do want to get more into that like issue later, but I think it is something that we don't necessarily have to fully avoid as much as like be aware and be willing to like speak out about it and not,
right.
be more willing to steal their work.
Well, and I read some very problematic books. I'm going to say that just right off the back. I read a lot, so I'm going to come across a lot of like very problematic books, but I try to stay away from problematic authors. So, I have never read any of his books, and I didn't realize that it was Jay Kristoff because it just says Kristoff up here.
Hmm.
So I had no idea until I just like saw an ad in this Batman book for that book that we just read, and it says Kristoff, and I was like, "What?"
So
So yeah, that is
if you pick up Dark Knights of Steel, Tales of the Three Kingdoms, do what I did, just skip the second story.
yeah. It's not. I mean, it's not 100% necessary. They're obviously each their own stories, and if you want to know, it's just how they recruit the Robins.
And like I said to you, I think like I read 3 or 4 pages of it, and those are not, I guess, 3 pages, and those aren't very long stories, and I was not interested. So I think it was the
Yeah,
weakest story out of the three.
yeah. Well, I guess it is what it is. All
All
right,
right,
we're just gonna move on. This is Batman. Oh man, I thought that scared me.
do
I
I
thought
look
that.
like Batman?
Yeah. Wait.
Oh my god,
What if I do it like that? Is that good?
that's good.
Okay. This is Batman 127.
We learned the origins of Failsafe, kind of.
Yeah, that's that's really all. Art's
Yeah,
still fantastic. I love Jimenez, so that's really
yeah.
cool.
I think this is more so for people who kind of like a deep lore on Batman because this is a deep hit. Um, so it didn't hit for me because I've never read Batman R.I.P.
Yeah, I had no idea
So
what that was.
I am familiar with it, so that does help. But it does reference the character in there, so it was a little bit, I was a little thrown off for sure. Yeah, Jorge Jimenez's art is really good. As a whole, I'm enjoying the story, I think. I think I need more. I need more to the story. I did really love the Superman business in here.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a really, really cool, like little addition to the story.
Uh I just yeah, I'm having mixed feelings on the story run, but maybe it's just because I just don't have that much of a familiarity with like those old school Batman things or
Yeah.
those Batman deep cuts. I did really like the Catwoman backup though. Did you get a
I did
chance
not
to
get
read
to
that?
finish that one. No, to be
Um,
completely honest, and I was really upset about it too because I've been loving it so far. But yeah, I just
okay,
didn't get around to finishing it.
I won't ruin it for you, but the backup I really liked. And it's the end of that backup. There's a new backup story starting the next issue. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I think it really brought some clarity to the main story. That's like that's kind of not necessary, but it definitely helps out. So what?
Sorry.
Oh
The
yeah,
titties
but
there that just
yeah,
blew me away.
that back page, like that back panel was not my favorite. Yeah.
No, I started like just staring at the boots and then I
Well,
slowly made my
yeah,
way
the
up and I was,
tits just like defy gravity. It doesn't make sense.
yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry,
like it's
artist.
like they've never had a woman lay on their backs. Like have do they not know how they
I just
um
I love art so much, but I don't know how artists don't understand how titties work. It's like,
I
do you know
know.
how boobs plus gravity work? They don't just float.
No,
Like
they fall.
boobs aren't in zero G, my dude. Like
Zero
what
G boobs.
what is that?
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I'm constantly blown away by that. I'm like, that would be sick if boobs just like stayed nice and firm the whole time. I don't know about anyone else, but like I lay on my back
Nobody
and snail eyes just
nobody would nobody would date the male gender if tits look like that all the time.
no.
Go
Welcome
ahead.
to our TED Talk. All right, I'm going to talk about this. Okay, this is Kingdom Come Deliverance. Oh, I just threw that book under the table. Anyway,
I don't know why this is so wild tonight.
I have no idea. It's because you're in another state right now.
And we're like an hour off from normal time.
Yeah, I just ate a bunch of food, and so I'm like
You're ready to
tired.
go.
Yes. This one smells good too. Okay, so this is Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is issue number 2. This series is literally just about brothers who are fighting to take claim of the throne. That's really it. I would say like I don't want to spoil anything, but there's literally nothing to spoil. It's like a generic Game of Thrones, but with like not as strong characters.
Okay.
I
Mm.
st- I still do enjoy it. I think it's a very like fun read, but that's just immediately what it reminded me of. It's very violent. There's a lot of death in here, like unnecessary death. I do like the art for it a lot. I think it's just a very fun story. There's no thought really to it.
Yeah. No politics necessarily.
Right. Yeah. And they're very weak when they are in there.
Okay.
So it's just, yeah, it's just a little medieval story that I like.
And
That's
you
all.
like them.
I do. I
You
do.
like them stories.
And this is the cover. This is the B cover. I ended up
Those
getting a
covers
whole,
are really pretty.
yeah, I absolutely love them. I was going to get just the A covers for it, but the B cover for this issue and then it's like the D cover for the other ones are the ones that are like scenery and then like wrap around. So I ended up getting a bunch of the variants because I thought they looked way cooler than the main covers. And to be honest, that is why I kept ordering it. They look good.
They feel good too.
Yeah, and they smell good. Also, Behemoth changed their name recently to Sumerian. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Sumerian, yeah.
Sumerian
So there's
comic,
my Behemoth books are not going to say Behemoth for too much longer.
which is it's under like Sumerian comics is like there's a Sumerian like recording company. Like they're all under the same header. Like they like I don't know.
I'll
I'll
have
look
to look
into it.
into it. Yeah.
I because when I went to their Sumerian Twitter, it was talking about like their like the fact that they do music. And when I was recently talking to somebody else about a Behemoth book, or they had saw like a Behemoth book, they were talking about how Behemoth was like a record label or like a band, and I was like, oh, well that all makes sense then.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it makes sense, but I'll have to look more into that. Like, I don't know why they would. I don't know. I'm confused by it.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm confused. I'm mainly confused because they've been putting out like a pretty good like lot of books, like a good
Yeah.
chunk of books that are like decent, and to have them like switch names and like I said, delete their Twitter and just like
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing to me. Like,
do
why is
some
that the case?
and do some wild stuff like that. It's like how it's harder to promote their books. It's harder to like find their books, and I don't know. I just wish they hadn't done that.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got Punisher. This is issue number 6. I don't. Punisher fights Ares, and Ares is real pissed off at Frank because he's like, you were born out of war. You're made of war. I made you. I actually like this was like one of the issues I probably liked the least.
Okay.
Uh,
Even with that sick line in there, you were born of war.
yeah, I don't know if
That would I would
I don't know if I just made that up, but
Oh
that
God, I
was
hope you didn't.
I'll look through this book, but like that's basically what he's saying.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'm gonna write that down because that was actually really cool.
if I ever write a Punisher book, I'm not gonna put that in there, but it would be sick. Um, oh, the greatest machine of warfare ever born of man. That's the line.
Are you kidding me? That's almost more metal.
I mean, that's the thing about this book is it's like it's it's fairly metal, but I think it does a disservice to the character because it doesn't grow Frank and it doesn't grow the Punisher. And I think right now that would be the thing to do. Like Frank Castle, like this is really making Frank less of a human being and more of a pawn.
That's fair.
And I think Frank has always been kind of a pawn in some way, shape, or form. And I think I just want to see more. I think that the character, and I know we've discussed this before when I've been reading this book, and I just want actual things from him. And this is doing that flashback where it's like, oh, he's done all of these, like he's been killing people since he's 10, so he's always had this god of murder in him and all of these things. And there's something about that I just don't like. And I really do enjoy the Punisher, and I know that doesn't make sense.
No, it does. Look at your shirt.
It's the trans Punisher. Uh, and I love Frank Castle, and I suppose there's something about this too that's showing like how used he is, and I don't know. I like it enough. I like it enough to keep reading it because it's not like I'm not hate reading this like crossover by any means. Like I'm reading this because I want to see where they take this character and what they do. Also wanted to see Daredevil,
All
which
right. I think
I
that's
got
fair.
I get Daredevil at the end of this issue, and I'm pretty sure that's where like the next Daredevil issue will be, and then the next issue after this will be a Daredevil Punisher issue. And I'm really hoping having that like Matt Murdock balance and having Matt like come and like see Frank and be like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, he goes, "What in God's name do you think you are doing?"
Yeah, you're gonna have to let me know how that plays out because now I'm interested.
Yeah,
I'm invested.
I don't know, like I think it's really the art for this book that brings me in. I have a lot of respect for Jason Aaron's writing and his work.
Hmm.
But I feel like it's kind of been not the best in the last few years.
Hmm.
And I don't think I'm not sure why that is.
Because it's
Like,
not Thor.
yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Because even like
Yes.
King Conan wasn't that great.
Right.
Uh, War of the Realms is okay. King Thor was good, but I think the best part of King Thor was his out 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 letter, was
Yeah.
Jason's out letter to Thor.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he peaked.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say maybe it was just the fact that like I don't know. We have been reading so much other stuff since that period of time. And
Sorry.
so, I don't know. We're more versed in our comic writers now and I mean, I still love Jason Aaron, but I also know that there are other better writers, not better necessarily, but other writers that I enjoy more.
That are doing that same sort of thing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and I don't think you're wrong on that because we've had that conversation with Sandman too. It's just like I, because I've taken in other stuff, like it doesn't hold that same weight. So it really could
Right.
be.
We're adults. We're grown-ups now, champ.
I'm still
That's
reading
it. That's all
Punisher
this
like a
is.
goddamn fool.
Look,
Ugh,
we're not super grown up. Okay.
I'm 35 years old.
Yeah, you still got a ways. I don't know
All
where
right,
my book is.
I still have brought this with me to Chicago.
I have no idea where mine is.
It's funny when I was packing my suitcase, so I was like, all right, got enough room for my comics. So this morning I just put them in the bag and set them right on top of all of my.
Oh my God. I love that.
Anyway, this
Okay,
is
so
the paradox of getting better. This is a little, I guess, graphic novel put out by Silver Sprocket, written by Raven Lynn Clemens. Uh, Neither Heather or I have had a chance to read this yet. But
it's great.
in three vignettes, a young adult named XXXX
Yeah.
deals with different stages of their life, trauma, and mental illness. As their identity transforms, so does their perspective. An intense, incisive look at what it takes to keep surviving. So, obviously, this is a book we'll read. And well, it smells good too.
How does it smell?
It smells good.
Okay. I don't know
I
where
am,
mine is.
yeah, it's really weird. Did you take it home?
I'm pretty sure I did. It might be in my backpack still, actually. I don't know.
Um,
I'll look
I'm
for
just
it.
really, I'm really excited to read this. Um, I don't know. You and I both love stories about this sort of stuff, so
I love reading about mentally ill people.
looks weird though. Art,
I feel like we've had this conversation before. I just got like this weird flash of deja vu.
it's probably happened. We did this at the shop.
No, and I mean like this, not this book, but this like exact same situation. We were talking about a book about mentally ill people, and you did that exact same thing.
I don't know.
Oh my God. I'm stressed. It stresses me out. I'm just going to talk about this next book.
Do it.
Okay. I only special ordered this one issue, and I'm sure just based off this cover, you can guess why. So this is She-Hulk. This is issue number 6. Um, couldn't remember which one it was. So I only ordered this one because Nightcrawler's in here. So I have no idea what's going on with the story. I don't know who half of these characters are. But basically, Nightcrawler visits Jen at her practice and is like, we need someone as a liaison here, as in like normal Earth, because Krakoa is just full of like politics and what does he say? We've got immigration issues, residency issues, voting rights complaints, all that kind of stuff. So they need basically a lawyer to represent all of mutant kind.
There's no mutant lawyers.
Apparently not. They didn't need to go to school for that.
Mm,
I don't know. It was weird. So
I'm I,
basically,
I'm gonna groan about that because that doesn't make sense to me. But go ahead,
yeah,
keep going.
it's she was the only one that was available to do that kind of stuff because Reed said you needed the clients. And then Kurt says, excellent. Wait until I tell Mr. Sinister. Okay, so that's done. So Jen gets a scolding from her boss, who is like, I told you no mutants in my office.
Wait, why would Mr. Sinister care?
I don't know. I haven't been reading this. I don't know what the fuck he has to do with anything.
No, Dave
Uh,
asked me the same question. Oh, because Dave asked me what Mr. Sinister has been doing, and he's been reading that book. Oh, like that doesn't make
I don't
any
think
sense.
I don't think this has anything to do with what is going on currently in the X-Men world. That's what I got from it because Kurt doesn't seem bothered at all. He's wearing jeans and a t-shirt and a baseball cap. Like they are fighting a war out there. They are fighting for their lives. He's not going to stop what he's doing just to be like, Jen, will you represent us? We're having immigration issues.
I know there's been
So
like delays on stuff, but other things we have heard about this book, I don't understand why Marvel writers don't like talk to one another.
I don't
Like,
know. Apparently it was either
or if
Nightcrawler.
you're, oh, never mind. I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah. No, I'm not even. No, no. But basically, it ends with Jen and Jack of Hearts walking together into a bedroom to get it on. But that's pretty much it. It was fine. It was
Yeah.
fine. I don't. Again, I have like zero context. I read the first issue of this series. I do like the art quite a bit. I think the art is very nice. I like the colors a lot. But I have no idea what's going on. They keep referencing things that have already happened, and I'm like, yeah, I just only got this because Kurt was in it. Like, cut me some slack here. I
Yeah.
don't. I
I
don't
don't
know.
wanna. Yeah, I don't. There's something that bothers me about like I don't. I guess I'm in that territory of like we need canon, and I should never be in that territory of we need canon. Who cares when it like
Mm.
takes place? But I suppose when there's like a major event going on, and it's a book that's like seemingly within like the continuity, like it's not like She-Hulk colon some other thing. Like
Right. No, I get what you're saying. It is very, very confusing, and it really isn't that hard to just be like, "Hey, Kieran."
or just like any like let's just like talk about like what's going on in the Marvel universe right now or like what could potentially be happening even in a few months because I think that storyline isn't even relevant within like the last 6 to 8 months.
Yeah. And there was another thing that happened recently with another book, and I can't remember what it was. But I remember thinking the same thing. Like I read it and I was like, okay, so everything that's been happening is completely irrelevant to the story. Like this, and I wish I could remember what it was now, but it's gonna bother me until I do remember. But that has
No,
happened within Marvel multiple times. So that's all I'm gonna say on that book.
I suppose like when it's DC, I'm more willing to like give it leniency because all of those books are kind of more so like not within a straight line. But
Right.
Marvel always kind of seems to try to like keep their books like tight in a way.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't know. It was fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. I have Sword of Azrael. This is issue number 2. Uh Azrael has gone on the lam with the woman he found at the monastery who was needing help that was trying to be kidnapped by Lady Bane. He believes um that she has been brainwashed similar to how he has about being an angel and all of these things. So this issue just deals a lot with that. And then it references back to the one shot.
Okay, cool. And it's still
It,
good? You're still liking it?
yeah, no, I once again really love this issue. Like I don't know what it is. I feel like Dan Waters is just like a really good writer. So he like draws you in like pretty quickly without you being like familiar. And or it could be because I read that like Arkham Asylum book
Mm-hmm.
and there's like aspects of that that like play into this. The art and the colors are also just like really stand out. There's a particular part of this that I really, really enjoy, where Jean Paul, I believe, right? That's his name when he's not Azrael, uh, decides he's gonna pray, because he's looking for like a deeper meaning in something. And he ends up coming up to Azrael, like the angel, biblically accurate angel Azrael
Right.
within his mind, and he finds like he sees this like hole that has like the answers he is seeking. And Azrael is like, like basically like I'll take you down there. And Jean Paul's like, no, I got to do this myself. And I don't know. There's some, like I said, there's something about this I really like, and it's hard to like really put my finger on. And maybe it's the religion aspect of it. No, it's a lot of there's a lot of thought and love that goes into this, and I really like this book, and I think more people should pick it up. I think more people should give it a chance because I think most of us don't care about Azrael and we could give two shits less. But
Right.
this is a really solid book, and I think it's a really interesting idea, and I think that it's worth people's time and
Right.
money. Like if I
Yeah,
were
I was
if I was gonna say if I were dropping books, this would be a book that which I know is hard already. I would probably drop more books that I like and keep this one on.
well, and it helps that it's only going to be like 6 issues, but
Hmm.
I was kind of surprised at how few people actually got it.
I was actually surprised at how many people also picked it up too. Like
Yeah.
the amount of people I was able to like convince to pick the book up was like wild.
Yeah. It was, I mean, it's an easy book to sell. Like, I don't know.
It's
I'm
hard.
kind of,
It's hard and easy.
yeah. I mean, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I was able to like sell it to a few people too, just because I was like, dude, look how good this looks.
Yeah, it looked great, and the story really matches. So it's a match made in heaven, if you will.
I will. That was a good one.
All right, so this is Death to Mutants. This is issue number 10.
Dude,
Uh,
yep.
This is just a Avengers X-Men Eternals Judgment Day tie-in, if you will. And basically you kind of just, I know Heather didn't get a chance to read this, so I'm just doing the overview that I did to her earlier. And Emma Frost has a meeting with the head deviant Crow, I believe. Croc? Crotch? Crow.
Yep.
Uh, and kind of feels him out and what he's doing. We get a little intro of a human who is really into poetry and making zines, who has a little internet friend who might not be what they seem. And that's really what this is. Like, it's pretty simple little tie-in to the main story. It does lead you into Immortal because you do see the fact that I know that Eternal who's judging people has a name. I cannot think of it right now.
I, and I swear I just saw it too.
But basically he is not coming to everybody as, or they are not coming to everybody as themselves. They are coming as people who they think they would be judged by, or who they think the person that they are judging would feel the most emotional by.
The progenitor?
Yeah, progenitor.
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 There it is. There it is.
And I thought that was a really interesting aspect. And I also like the way that it played right into Immortal X-Men issue
Which I
number
did read.
6. Yeah. And it really does. It like they go hand in hand. And I did like the Sebastian Shaw aspect of this where he is being judged by Emma and he thinks that it's actually Emma doing shitty things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then once again, you also just hate Sebastian Shaw. He's a fucking piece of shit, dude. He's like the shittiest person in this. And I mean, he's supposed to be shitty because he's a capitalist, but it's
Yeah.
every
I
time I'm just,
I love that scene at the end when he gets judged and he's like, "You think I respect Frost?" Like hogwash.
yeah, and
I don't
it's
know
like,
why that part killed me.
yeah, it's a really like, and yeah, this made me hate him even more. And it's like I hate
Yeah.
this dude already. I don't need to hate him anymore. It's stupid.
It was all downhill when he killed Kitty,
It,
honestly.
it really was.
That's where my hate started. And you know I like very hateful people, but I just do not like that dude. He
Oh,
leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
well, because he's hateful and like spiteful and like I don't know. There's some like there are people who are hateful and good villains because they're like interesting people, but
Mm-hmm.
people who are capitalists and people who want to make money off of like the downfall of humans and like the downfall of mutants and the downfall of everybody else and like exploitation, like those are gross people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Don't like him.
that also leads into my book. I have
Oh
one.
shit, I forgot you had one more. I was like,
I
that's
had
not what I
one
have in my
more.
hand.
Yeah, I have the vineyard. This is issue number 2. This is about a little vineyard that is giving sacrifices to Dionysus. And as we all know, Dionysus is a really shitty god,
Yeah,
like a really bad god. He seems like he'd probably be like a really chill dude or a really chill god because he's like the god of partying.
he's a
But
turd.
he is a turd. Uh, And I am interested to see like how this book plays out just because of the horror aspect. There is a lot of sex in this book, which I also shouldn't have been surprised by. A
Yeah.
book about Dionysus who
Loves letting loose.
yeah. Um so that was surprising and shouldn't have been. I really like it. I'm waiting for it to like get its legs. I need more of a story because it
Yeah.
this issue kind of
Oh,
just
you just made a wine joke. I'm waiting for it to get its legs. Sorry. That's all I'm going to be able to think about now. All right.
glad you got that. I worked in the service industry for a long time. Both
I,
opened many bottles of wine.
yeah, I'm terrible at wine, but I've always loved that saying, like, it has legs and stuff like that, because I never understood what it meant. And I had to Google it like just a few weeks ago because I was like, what
Mm,
does that even fucking mean? Because I drink very cheap wine and it doesn't have legs.
mm-mm. Got to get those tannins.
Yeah, you know, I am who I am.
Regardless, the Vineyard is it's a fun book. I really like the art. It's not fun. It's a good book. I like the art a lot. Like I said, I just need the story to like give me a little bit more. I know it's only 6 issues, so we'll see.
Yeah, that sucks that it hasn't like fully gotten into it yet.
I think it's just because it's still like trying to like put the bones down because like the first issue did the same thing where it like introduced you to the characters in this world you're seeing. This issue went a little bit deeper,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't quite give me enough. Like you see the son who is kind of the main part of the story, like you saw where he left off on like the first issue and him making this sacrifice, and you see his sister come home to try and take care of his mother, but these were all the same like little pieces that were placed within the first issue, so it needed to just like take it beyond that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
It's fun. It's not fun, but it's fun.
Right.
All right, we have poison.
Got poison ivy.
I poisoned Heather. Poison ivy number 4. This got extended, so I
Oh,
think
it
this is
did.
yeah, it's in the newest previews for issue number 7,
Okay.
607. So it might be a Swamp Thing thing where it's only going to end up being extended till like X amount of issues, but I really hope this is ongoing for like a period of time because I really love this story. This issue is Poison Ivy taking down the man, bro.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
love
that's literally it. Yeah.
we love somebody who's gonna take down the man, and Poison Ivy's definitely gonna do it. Plus, she gets a little 2 finger push out of the deal.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I don't even have anything to say to that. It's, yeah, this story is just really good. I love the art for it so much. I love how the story is evolving, growing, if you
I,
will.
I love, yeah, yeah. I love the narration. Like the
Yeah,
narration, or like
it's,
the letter that she's writing to Harley is like very, very like real.
yeah,
Very much draws you in and is fairly relatable.
yeah, yeah. I really like that too. it's easy to relate to the feelings that she's having when it comes to like what she's doing versus what she feels like she needs to do.
Hmm. And I think we've all had bosses that are, I don't know, I've at least had a boss or somebody within my realm who is like this man that she has been interacting with. And I really, uh, I think I'm beyond that now, but part of me is not. I would love to kill people who
Oh,
just
I
are
every day.
literal pieces of shit.
Yeah.
You ready, bro?
Part of being human, I think. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. So next we have Golden Rage. This is issue number 2. Uh, Heather, you take this one away.
This is Golden Girls. No, okay,
I
so
mean, there is
there's
a Golden Girls quote on the back.
I know that cracks me up. So it's basically just about an island full of elderly women. I don't know, kind of like a fight to the death in a sense, at least in this issue, that's what I got the feeling of. But there's a younger woman who has been sent to this island because she's going through menopause early and stuff, which makes her kind of, I guess, useless. You don't like the way that they make that seem, but I get it for the sake of the story.
Well, and it's true.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like I get it in terms of like the story and stuff, but basically they're just abandoned all on this island, and they have to fight to the death. But so she's abandoned there, and she's taken in by this group of like elder women who are trying to help her stay alive, pretty much.
Yeah, that does cover it. This issue is really, really good. I think that each issue is going to cover a different character that we've met, at least the way
Mm-hmm.
it has felt after the first and second issues. This issue was pretty deep, I think. A lot
Yeah,
about like losing somebody and what that means to you and how that affects you in this sort of situation or and even in life. And I really like that personally.
yeah, this one kind of, I mean, the whole story itself is like kind of a bummer when you think about it, because like I said, it's
Oh,
in terms of,
absolutely.
yeah, the story, it like makes sense, but the fact that all these women are just like abandoned because they're useless to like society from then on out just really upsets me. But this story, yeah, or this issue in particular, just has a lot to do with death and all that kind of stuff, and it's uh like you said, it's deep.
Yeah. I think it's really deep in like a very, like that, a strange way where you're not expecting it to be. And then it kind of like the way the narrative flows. And when you find out a lot more about the characters, it deepens everything that's been going on. And that, yeah, it's just a really great like opening of the story. And I really liked that.
Mm-hmm. And I said this with the last issue. At the end of the book, I just absolutely love it. They give you like little home remedies, tinctures, all that kind of stuff, recipes. This one's all about dandelions and what you can do with dandelions that you
Yeah, I
forage. And
love that.
I fucking love that. It's very cute. And so on this day of Queen Elizabeth's death, we will be talking about,
We're gonna say spoilers right now.
yeah, there's going to be some spoilers, and we don't mean in real life, because if you haven't read about the Queen, then you're not paying attention. It's been literally everywhere. But we're going to talk about once in future. This is
Number
issue
29.
29. Yeah, we have one left, and that stresses me out.
I'm
But I'm
really
also very
excited.
excited.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so stoked. Like these last like 4 issues have been so
Out of
phenomenal.
control.
It's just so good. Heather, you talk about it.
Well, I don't, I mean,
I said spoilers, so if anyone
I
didn't,
know, but I hate giving spoilers away because like so much happens in this one. So basically, Rose has her fight, which if you had read the last issue, she gets sliced. She gets like killed. So we had assumed that she was going to die, but based on this issue, she doesn't die. She comes back stronger than ever. She gets revenge. There's just so many stories that are being completed in this that it started like throughout this entire series. So
bro.
King Arthur, yes, it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, she has a fight with King Arthur. Swords are pulled.
She is the one true king.
Yeah, she ain't a king. She's our new queen.
I just fucking screamed. The king is dead. Long live the
Mm-hmm.
queen. Like that shit is
So
so
good.
hard. Like fuck. Kieran is so good. Like he's so good. I I'm scared though.
No, I'm terrified, and that's why like
I
but
if we don't we have to we I don't think we're gonna get out of this without losing somebody. Like I don't think it's possible. Like
no, I feel like it's going to be Bridget. I feel like she's going to do a sacrifice to save Duncan,
oh
or the opposite,
absolutely.
where Duncan does a sacrifice to save Bridget, but it makes more sense for Bridget to do it.
Yeah, and I think story wise that we've been doing this too long now. I'm ruining stories for myself.
I know. And I know in my head, I know that Mary's going to die too.
Mary has to die.
Yeah, but I feel like
Mary has
that's
to
what's going
go.
to, she has to, but I feel like that's what's going to trigger like Bridget to want to do something or to make her next move. I don't know. I have a lot of theories in my head, but basically it's not looking good. We have one issue left. I don't know how everything is going to tie up in this one issue and have like a solid conclusion. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I am also on the edge of my fucking seat right now, and I am mad at Mary. Like
I'm
absolutely
furious.
furious. Yeah.
After everything throughout this entire series, all the mistakes that she has made for her son, like, I get it. I do get it. And I
One of
know.
her sons.
There, excuse me, sir.
But you know what I'm saying? Like she literally, like the reason one of her sons died, one of the reasons her other son is probably gonna possibly die is because of
Mhm.
her.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I have no love for Mary. She's been a shit character from the beginning.
Well,
I
that's what I
did love
mean.
I do love her growth because Kieran did do that growth of her character within the last like couple story arcs where she's seemingly learning,
But then she
which
just immediately gives it all up. That's what I'm saying. Like, we got to see that, and then it all just regressed. And so, if she doesn't die for her own stupid fucking mistakes, and one of our kids dies, I'm gonna be so upset.
uh yeah, I don't think Kieran will do it to us like that, but who knows? Like I'm I'm so excited. I don't want
There's
to go ahead.
I was just gonna say they're so close to having the other world like closed and be back to normal. Like they're so close to it happening. And then Mary, little shitbag Mary, had to go around and be like, "No, I want my sons." Are you
She
kidding me,
don't,
Mary? You're
she
dead.
only wants her one son. Her
I don't give a shit
one
about her one
son.
son. There was a reason why he died so early on in the story, and it was because he is not a solid character. He's not a
And
good boy.
Duncan is the best. Duncan is the best
He is,
boy.
and I swear, if Duncan dies, if Duncan dies, I'm going to be writing a strongly worded letter to Kieran Gillen once he is finished doing Judgment Day because I need him to write me back and I need him to focus all of his attention on writing me back.
You know what we should try to do? I know it'll never work. We'll try to get an interview with Kieran after Once and Future's done. I'll try my hardest. I'll try my hardest to make
You
that
know what?
happen
I will
for
get
us.
back on Twitter also and Instagram for that. If we can get Kieran Gillen to have a talk with us about Once and Future, I'll bring my books. I'll
I
bring
was say I
everything.
feel like I'm gonna have to be out of school. I'm gonna have to
Oh.
I'm gonna have to drop out, read a bunch of
Just
books.
take a semester.
I got better things to do. I gotta talk to Kieran Gillen about
We gotta do this too. We gotta talk to Kieran Gillen, not about like all of his books, just about Once and Future.
and all of the lore that comes with it.
Yes, yes. That would
Uh,
be a dream of mine if we could make that happen. Okay. Anyway, we got one book of Once and Future left, and we have one book to talk about left.
we're gonna go for it now. Spoilers once again. We've got Twig. This is issue number 5. Oh, God, I love that cover.
The one mine.
Yeah, I love that main cover. Like, I like this cover a lot, but like that main
Mm-hmm.
cover is so good.
It's very, very good. Yeah.
So this is the last issue of Twig, and this was perfect.
Yeah, it was such a good ending for this chapter.
I cannot suggest this book enough to people. I think it's really interesting. It's really intriguing. I think it really draws you in, especially with the art and the story itself, because at its bones, it's just a basic adventure story. It's just a dude trying to find his place from A to B.
Mm-hmm.
And like Lord of the Rings or any good adventure story, you have those people and those things you meet between and those ideas and those like you grow. And I like that's what I really love about Twig. Like this book is so good and so beautiful and ugh, I have so many words I want to say about it, but I don't know if I have the right descriptors.
I love that this story is like the idea is it's his journey from point A to point B, but it's not even like they do a really good job of like summing it up at the end, like what his job was the entire time. And it
Hmm.
wasn't necessarily to like save the world from great evil. It was to be the person who assisted the person who saves the world from great evil. And I love his whole journey to discover that part. Like he knows what he's supposed to be doing, but he's not quite sure like how he's supposed to do it. He just knows that like this is where I need to be to get this. And then I need to get like back. I need to go back because that's part of my whole goal. Like that's what I need to
Hmm.
do. And the friends that he makes along the way,
They're so perfect.
it was so
Uh,
perfect.
Something I really loved about this particular issue and in Twig in general, because I think for myself, I really also relate to this is like his love for food and memories, like
Mm-hmm.
how, and for me, it's like, and you know this personally, is that I love
Yes.
I love feeding people, and I think there's something about food that does create memories, and when you're enjoying a really good meal with someone, those are lasting moments. And like I think that is like there's that part where Twig is talking about like, he's making his last meal before he goes to the end of his journey and is talking about how this one meal reminds him of his dad, and that shit just hit home because I think that's why I love making food for people is because I like making those memories. I like taking care of my people and I like doing those things. And you can see the love Twig has for like just making food and like reliving these things and having those memories that are meaningful. And I don't know, I love that shit.
It's he just a really solid character. He's just so
Okay.
good. There's just I say good as in like he's a good written character, but he's just a good character. Like he's just a good boy.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Where I'm gonna
very
do it. I'm gonna read this part about having heart.
yeah. I'm trying to yep.
Uh This is the part of Twig that got me because it's like one of the best parts, but Splat is talking about his Twig's dad and asking him like how his father has inspired him from beyond. And Twig says that he asked him once what he thought, like his dad thought it took to save the world over and over again. And he said having heart. And Twig was like, like the heart inside of me. And his dad was like, not exactly, son. That keeps that heart keeps you alive. One tiny little twig. Having heart is like having an unseen thing deep inside you that gives you the strength and courage to keep others alive if need be. Ugh. And then it flashes to the future, and Twig is talking to Splat. And this is after the horned beast. We don't know. He's gone. And Twig says, we never needed Lobi's physical heart to mend the stone. It was the heart he showed us by giving his life for us so that we can save everyone else's. And I think there's something about that that's just, I don't know, really good. And I think that's like very much a Scotty Young thing.
This book, I'm gonna have to like go back and read it again, like from the very beginning, because it's the way that this like book was the way the story was told. It wasn't like super heavy like the last few Scotty Young books that we have read, but still by the end of this issue, I was still just sobbing just because of like how good it was. And I can't even like pinpoint exactly what it was about the story. Maybe it was just like how simple the idea was, but it was just this Bellamy Augustus. I It was how simple the story was, but it was also just about, friends helping each other do this job to like save the world. Twig wasn't by himself the entire time. He was with these people that loved him
Mm-hmm.
and helped him. And I don't know how Scotty Young does this to me every single time. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
It's gonna sound really cheesy when I say it, but this book does have a lot of heart.
It
Like
does.
at its core, this book just has a lot of heart, and you want to see Twig succeed, and I don't know, you really connect with it in like a very weird way. Like the story is written in a way where you're automatically like, yes, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
We gotta get to the end. We gotta make sure Twig survives. We gotta make sure that Lat survives. And when he meets the horned beast, Lobi, we gotta make sure Lobi just
Slowly.
survives. Uh, I am glad that it's coming back, though I don't know what it will do.
I know I was wondering about that, like what would the second story arc be, but I am excited to see like what they could possibly do with it. Because
I
would
feel
it
like
follow Twig? Like obviously the name is Twig, but is it going to
that
follow him before or after? Is it going to be an adventure with his dad?
would be cool. Uh,
Yeah.
I felt like it might be a little bit like Wind, because I would love to see more of this world, because I feel like
Mhm.
the world building in this book was like really, really well done.
Right.
And I want to see more. I think it'd be interesting. It's fine. We're almost done.
He's being a little shit right now, so I have to hold on to him.
We are done.
We're done. Bellamy,
Unless
did you hear that? He's breathing so loud.
unless
Did you
you
hear
have
that, baby girl?
any other thoughts or feelings, things you
No,
wanted to throw out into the ether.
no, not really. Not today.
All right. Well, that's it. That's all we got. We're done talking about comic books. Uh, so go support your local comic book shop. I was hoping we both could do that successfully. Go support your local comic book shop, support your local library, support your friends, do good things, take care of one another. I really don't have anything else because I'm so exhausted. Life
I
sucks.
know, same. I would say, know your worth. Don't settle for less. Go on
That's
vacation
true.
when you need to.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
are you cutting out?
I think both of us cut out there.
Okay. Okay. There we go. We're
Yeah.
back.
Heather, I think that was really good.
That's all I had. Sometimes I say what I mean and I mean what I say.
Now I'm going to be sitting back here thinking about my worth.
I mean, good. You need to. Don't settle for a job that pays you less than you deserve either. If you do the work, get the pay.
And if not, form a union and show your bosses what's up.
Show them your arms.
All
Okay.
right, we have to stop. Thank you for listening. Thanks for supporting us. We love you so much. If you are not signed up for our Patreon, please sign up. We got two Z's on our Patreon right now, which I mean two people. Uh, we'd love your money too. We'd
We
love
love it.
to make more content, as the kids call it, for you.
Yeah.
All
And
about
it'll
comic
go
books.
straight back into the economy. That's what it is.
The comic book economy.
Yeah, it's just straight back into the economy. It's what do Mac and Dennis call it?
Oh, man, I don't remember now. If I knew we were gonna do this, I would have been prepared.
We're gonna make some dollars,
We're
some
gonna make
comic
some,
dollars.
yeah, talk comics to me dollars.
Yep. It's gonna have
So
our faces right in the middle, back to back, doing this.
so
Okay.
I don't have to just try to give Heather $10 a month.
Yep.
All
That's
right,
how we're gonna do it. We're okay. 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 No, we're done. We're really
we're
done.
done. We gotta
We're
stop.
done.
We're crossing it out. We love you. We'll see you on the flippity flip.